guys? Welcome to another Buy the Dips, Sell the Rips video. And man, have these videos been printing. We've been hitting some nice 5Xs, 10Xs, 8Xs. And recently, last week, we actually got a close to a 10X. I want to know how many of you guys actually picked it up. But let's dive right in and find out what could possibly be another 10X. I'm going to give you guys some newer coins, some older coins, and some super risky ones as well. So let's dive in. As you guys know, the market is kind of looking a little bit choppy lately. We don't know if it's going up, if it's going down. So these dips might come a little bit further down than what we're going to mention. So please be on the lookout. I'm going to give you guys multiple entries if we get a more drastic dip, okay? So the one coin that we actually called last week, which was Punch, we called it at 6 million, and boom, bada bing, it went all the way to 50 mil, almost closing to a 10X. Nice little 9X around there, but it's doing so well. And this one, guys, everybody got it super duper early in Boltz Alpha. Speaking of Boltz Alpha, man, we've been dropping crazy alpha for you guys, but let's just talk a little bit about this one. Link to the Boltz Alpha Discord down below, but let's talk a little bit about this one. So what am I expecting to see? If we get a very, very choppy dip within the market, I'm expecting this one maybe, fellas, maybe coming down around this 20 mil range, okay? This 20 mil range, I still think we might see something like around 16, 15. It just depends how violent the dip is, okay? If the dip is really violent in the market, and of course, if you guys want to know what's going on with the market, guys, Boltz Alpha, we give you guys the alpha, the alerts every single time there. So if you're not tuning in, you guys are missing out. So really, for this one, I'm going to say the worst case scenario, I see this as 16. All right, worst case scenario, 16. I don't think it's going to, it might not even come down this much, but I'm just letting you guys know because I want to make sure you guys are prevalent, okay? So 16, 19 is kind of like where I'm looking like if things get really, really bad. But what I'm looking for, if you're trying to get this one back in here, 23 mil, 20, 22, kind of roughly around there. Ideally, it might not even come down below that. It might just stay within the 30 mil. But right now, it's very hard to estimate because the market is very choppy right now, okay? And it literally is happening in real time. So it's making it hard to actually call these. But I think, theoretically, I'm going to give you guys 3 stones. 30 mil would be like, all right, everything is settled. Nothing really happened. But we got a nice little dip here at 30 mil. The people are a little bit sketchy. We might see 20, 22, 24, 23 mil. Things get really, really bad. I'm thinking we're seeing that 16 mil here. Just because it's a newer coin, it's a little bit more difficult to actually, kind of pinpoint exactly where it's at. But if you guys watch the video from last week and you're in Boltz Alpha, 9X is beautiful. Next one we're going to be talking about is called Lobstar. And this one we actually called this weekend at 250K. Everybody made a ton of money on this one. So this one did pretty well. And even before the weekend finished, I said, I said in the Boltz Alpha, listen, guys, make sure you keep an eye on the chart because if for some reason this coin's going to do pretty well, keep an eye on the chart and please make sure that you look somewhere around that 2 mil to 3 mil to 4 mil range if the coin dips. What happened? We got this beautiful, massive dip here. If you didn't get in the first initial entry in the Boltz Alpha, and you guys were able to snap it right here and it ran up all the way to 12 mil. Right now, it had another dip down to 5. It's running back up to 10. Ideally, by the time I was making this video, I was hoping I would be able to kind of tell you guys about this dip right here of this 5 mil range, but it just went back up. Ideally, let's hope it comes back down here, okay? Let's hope it comes down here to that 6 mil, 5 mil range. This is where I'd probably look to get in here. Hopefully, it doesn't hold this because 2 things are going to happen right now. It will either continue going up and test this 12 mil, or we'll come back and see this test here around this 5.4, 5 mil range to 6 mil range. So that's what I'm looking at for this one right here. A little bit of a newer coin. It's sustained a little bit of FUD, so that's actually doing pretty well. So that's what I'm looking at, okay? The next one we're going to mention, guys, is this one right here. This is a very older coin, and this is called USA. Recently coming down all the way to 2 mil. I'm looking for something around that 1.7 mil. This is a little bit more riskier, and the reason I'm playing this one is just because we have a lot of things happening within the world right now as far as the Olympics. We got the World Cup coming up. A lot of stuff that has to do with the USA. So I'm just trying to see if it comes down, if it comes down, if it comes down. And this is more of a gamble one to see if, okay, well, it came down. I'm going to see exactly, try to get a little bit here and hopefully get something major happens in the United States and things go pretty crazy. Okay, so this is a little bit more riskier. If you're not into taking risk, you would probably want to skip this one and move to something that's a little bit more safer, which is like the first two I mentioned there. But nothing is safe in the casino, so not financial advice. But let's dive into the next one. The next one we have, guys, is AVICI. I kind of mention this every single week, and of course, the market's dipping. Things are going to dip a little bit more than what we usually plan. But with that being said, it's now down to 13 mil, almost 14 mil. This is, I'm personally, beautiful entry here. 13 mil, pretty solid. Like I said, and I've been saying before, I don't think this drops below 10 million. I think it just kind of stays around this, hovers this summer here. A lot of new features that they're bringing in, and a lot of new updates that are coming as well. So I think potentially we see this one actually do pretty well. It's just going to take a little bit longer to cook because their major update that came out kind of gave it that beautiful catalyst right here, all the way to 62. But there's another update coming out, so I do expect this to have another major catalyst as well. How major that catalyst is going to be, I can't tell you, but I do think it's going to do pretty well as it moves along, okay? So that's AVICI if you're still in it. The next one that got a crazy dip just because the market's going pretty crazy is Fartcoin. Now, Fartcoin's coming down all the way to 160, okay? And theoretically with this one, guys, the way I like to play this one out, this is kind of like one of those coins where eventually it's going to go up, okay? It might not go up as fast as you want it to go up, but it will go up. Once again, not financial advice. So anytime this coin drops below 200 million, it's always a good grab, but 160 is almost like free salary in my opinion. So I think this one, 160 mil, really good entry here. It might dip a little bit more, FYI though, just that the market keeps dipping a little bit as people are rotating money around. The next one we have is DUPE. As you guys know, big fan of DUPE, still holding DUPE, been holding DUPE forever. And right now it's at 6.5 million. Eventually, we want it to come down just a little bit more into this range of 4 mil, 4 mil to, like 5 mil range. I think that's beautiful. Still not a bad bidding zone right now at 6.5 though. Not a bad bidding zone here at 6.5, but theoretically speaking, 5 mil would be like a beautiful 4 to 5 mil. It's a beautiful entry for that one. So do keep that in mind if you guys are within the trading DUPE. The next one we have, guys, is another one. This is a more of a newer coin. This is called maxing. Now the problem with this particular coins is that this is once again coming with a major warning. Newer coins, newer community. We don't know how strong the community is here, so ideal entry is extremely vital and extremely important for this to actually thrive and do very well. Okay. Right now it's at 2.9 mil. Would not buy at this range. I would kind of wait for it to come down to 2 mil or like 1.9 and see what the chart does. This one's, I'm a little bit precautious to kind of mention it just for the simple fact that it's a newer coin, but still has a pretty good potential as the trend is a little bit viral. So anything around 2 mil, 1 mil, 1.5 is kind of like what I'm looking at here, just to take a little stab at it. But I do feel like we could see like a 1.5 entry here or a 1 mil entry and see what it does. This is one that you might want to keep an eye on the chart, but I would not buy at this current market cap. The next one we have, guys, is called Milady AI. There's another really one that I'm a big fan of. Right now, 22K, super low market cap one. Once again, a big warning with this one. What I'm looking for here, guys, is anything around 160, 150 looks pretty solid. Even 22 looks pretty good. Potentially with this one, either we get a crazy upside, crazy push, or we just kind of get stagnant for a little bit. We did the same thing with gold. If you guys remember, we got gold like around 150K, and it recently went up to like 450K. So we got some really good multiples, just that they take a little bit longer to actually do anything. And that's the biggest problem with these coins. But the upside is really big if the coin is sustainable. The next one we have, guys, is another one that we called really early, and this was on stream, called Aliens. And I don't think the alien meta is going to die off until we get all the information about the aliens. Okay, so recently we called this one up to 3 mil. A lot of you guys made a lot of money. Came down to 600. I hope if you guys are in Boltz Alpha, you guys probably got this dip here at 600. But if you're not in Boltz Alpha and you didn't get the dip, you're gonna look for this one and see what it actually does Ideally, I would love this coin to just hover around this 1 million range and kind of just start consolidating here around 900 to 1 mil, because we already kind of got in here really, really early. But there's still a potential this might dip a little bit lower here and kind of come down to like 800, 700. That's where I would try to get in if you're not in there, and just probably put a little bit around 900, see if it does anything. And potentially, I think this coin will break all-time high. It just needs that news catalyst to actually push it and propel it, and for people not to kind of like get, not be like paper handing, right? And them actually holding it. So that's what we have as far as aliens is concerned. The next one we have, guys, is OneCoin, and this is almost completely in like it's over territory. Okay, so this is gonna be a very tough call because 1.7 mil seems like it's bottom, but it could potentially come down to 1.5. I don't think it goes below 1 million. If it goes below 1 million, it's kind of like, oh my goodness, what the heck is going on with the USD one pairs? But 1.7 to 1.5 is what I'm looking for. OneCoin. I'm still in it, and I kind of not gonna be completely honest with you guys. I kind of round tripped this one a little bit, uh, thinking it was gonna go a little bit higher. I'm still up a couple X's, but I still believe. I still believe. So don't make me lose hope. All right. The next one we have is one called Juice, and this is another one. Once again, coming with a warning because not a very big amount of community here. The coin did pretty well, so it has some pretty good backing, but just not a big amount of community. And when it comes to coins like that, I'm a little bit skeptical because there's just too little bit of holders, right? So what I'm looking for Juice right here, guys, is if it comes down here to like 1.5, okay? So if it were to come down here to like 1.5, 1.7, that's where I'm buying. Okay, 1.5, 1.7, that's kind of like where I'm buying. Not buying right here at 2.8 mil. That's just way too high. I would probably take a stab here at 1.5, and it went from 1.5 all the way to 5 million, which is not bad. But I would kind of want to see if it comes down here, and that's where I'll probably take some maybe kind of look and see if 1.7, 1.5. That's going to be for Juice, and that's what we have as far as that's concerned. Now I'm going to give you two coins that could completely go nowhere. Okay, could completely go nowhere. I recently just bought them just because I feel like, okay, maybe there's a possibility there's something there. Okay. Maybe there's a possibility there's something there. And we're going to start with this one called Chillguy. And I know you guys might call me crazy, but I did the same thing with Pippin. So I'm not saying this is going to do a Pippin. So please, guys, keep that in mind. I just like to buy coins that I feel like there's still a possibility they might do something. Okay. And this is Chillguy currently right now, guys. It is literally um almost completely bottom. I mean, it's come down here to 8, but this is literally as low as it's gotten, which is 9 million. Okay, now potentially this coin could go back down even further, but I actually added a little bit around here. Not a lot. It's just potentially if I could get a 30 to 40x on this coin and for some reason it gets crimed, I'm happy with it. If for some reason I lose 40 to 50, 60, 70, 80%, then I'm perfectly fine with that. But it's worth for me to take a stab on it. Okay, so this is not for everybody. I wouldn't recommend everybody do this. I'm just saying this is just what I am personally doing, and hopefully it plays out. Okay, so that's gonna be Chillguy. The other one that's kind of like the same way is this one called Sharkcat, and this one is completely bottomed out as well, down here to 500. Once again, with a warning that this could go lower and lower, but I am willing to take the risk, just like I did with Pippin, which I called it at 19 million. Currently hit almost 800 million, but I'm not selling until it hits a bill. But with this one, kind of like where it's at, 490, 500K, maybe comes out of 450. We already took a little stab on it. We bought a little bit here. And let's see what happens. Maybe we get like a nice little 10x, 20x, 50x would be amazing. Or we just completely go down to like a negative 50, negative 80, and we just gonna have to hit the sell button, right? So those are the two major risk ones that I'm gonna be mentioning. Of course, there is another one I did want to point out, and I didn't mention it here, but let me pull it up here just because I like it a lot. And this is Wojak, and Wojak recently came down to 6.8, which is kind of what we were watching right now. What I would do with this one, really good entry here at 6.8. Maybe, just maybe, if you see this right here, guys, this like 5.9 entry, like anything below 6 mil, I will literally take a stab on it on this one. I still think it's not over for Wojak. I just think the market's been a little bit choppy lately, and that's where we're at. But Wojak is one that I would definitely keep an eye here, just because the chart looks like people are selling, 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 and eventually when the market corrects itself, I think we'll see a nice little upside. So that's what we have this week around. Let me know if you picked one up, if you did, which one, and let's see. And hopefully we now have another 10x live on this video. If you want to watch this video early, don't forget Boltz Alpha is where you do it. And on top of that, if you want to get a constant 10x, 20x, 30x, 5x, 4x every single day, Boltz Alpha is where to go. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one.